So, so I mentioned this a couple of times this fall that I had a good summer, and look what I have here. Yeah, man, come on. This thing has been on my radar for so long. This is a Spyderco Pikal knife, and it has the same locking mechanism that they put on. I'm drawing a blank. The Mannix. Yeah, it's the same lock that ball bearing lock that they put on the Mannix, and it's stunning, of course. But the main feature of this wonderful knife is how directly it's built to be a Pakal knife, a folding pocket, and the ergonomics on this thing. I mean, I just couldn't wait to get one in my hand. So I did find this one. It's in like new condition, but didn't have a box or papers. There's a slight concern. Spyderco's are some of the most counterfeited knives ever, right? But not this one. Yeah, this is a legit knife. And looking at it, I mean, I don't see any wear marks. There's no wear marks on the scales. There's no wear on the blade, factory edge. Yeah, just this thing. Oh, I've so wanted one of these. What a wonderful little carry knife that when it comes out of pocket, it's got like a Emerson lock on it. So it catches the pocket and just opens it, and you are right in your grip. What a wonderful defensive knife. So, hey, I am going to take it apart and we're going to check it and see, does it need to be tuned? I mean, the action's pretty solid on it. I will say that there is a slight bit of movement in the blade. So, let me try to tighten that pivot and see if I can get that movement out of it. Well, I'm sure the movement's gone now because it's so tight that it won't sling. Yeah, so there's no movement in it now. But I would like I would like it to be able to spidey flick and open like so. Let's check it now. And there's just the tiniest little bit of wiggle in there. Well, man, let's take it apart and then we'll worry about that action after the fact. So I think I'm going to come up with this side on the scales. Let's see if I can. Yeah, see, that's loose. And then I've got a bunch of T6s here. Got a T8 that also goes through and holds down on the pocket clip as well. So I believe this pocket clip will come off now. Yeah, it's just a spacer in there. I'm trying to remember back. It's been a while since I've taken my Mannix apart, but regardless, man, we'll get through it. A little bit of Loctite on there. Nice little G10, Spyderco G10, solid stuff. Steel liners, steel backspacer. I think that might not be steel. I'm trying to remember now on this ball. I think I just come up with this scale. Yeah, it's on washers. So we'll mess with that action a little bit. pushing that pivot out of there. There we go. The washer looks symmetrical. So what I mean is I don't have to worry about one's for which side, one's for the other side, that type of thing. And then this should release tension here, and it did. So I shouldn't have to worry about that coming up out of there. I think I'm going to have to take these screws off here to get that spacer out of there. Yeah, it's screwed in from both sides. Lots of pieces and parts here, man. And make sure don't lose your ball. Yep. All right. Well, let's clean it up. And we'll put it back together. All right. All right. Let's get a little, I think I'm going to use some of my illustrious high-end cleaner. And start with some of these big pieces. Yeah, so what a summer. I mean, I was able to secure a bunch of like Grail knives for me. This was one. It's definitely, I'll call it a Grail knife for me. I had the search on, and I mean, of course, for me, searching doesn't mean I'll pay anything. Part of the reason that I have to search as long as I do is because I'll find them, but I'm not willing to pay what somebody wants for one. And I finally, this was one of several that I was able to try to procure. And lo and behold, I was able to get it at a price that, I mean, to be honest, seemed unreasonable on my side. But I got it. Yeah, I mean, whew. And this 100% will be a carry knife for me. This will go in my pocket. And I could say that because I've already kind of handled the knife a little bit. When it came in, didn't have a box or nothing, so I didn't hesitate, man. I put my hands on it. And yeah, the ergonomics, I mean, we're going to get to all that. I'm kind of, I don't know, putting the cart before the horse, I guess. But and I've got a basket full of others that were just knives that, man, I just put the searches out, and if I can get my hands on one of those, I'm definitely going to land it. And it was a good year. I'm going to clean these washers a little bit before I polish them, but then I'll polish them up and see if we can't improve that action a little bit, which the action was phenomenal, actually. But when I tighten the screw to get the wiggle out, not so much. All right. Well, let's do these. I'm going to use my little purple belt. Works wonderfully on these bronze washers. I think it's considered 6,000 grit. So really fine belt. But it doesn't take much. I felt it. It had a little burr on there. Yeah, it's already shiny like a mirror on this side. Doesn't take much. I'm not looking to remove material. I'm just looking to remove tarnish and burrs. Get it nice and smooth. Yeah, there we go. Transformed. There, look at the difference. Yep, you can see it. Very, very nice. All right, let's get this one. Yeah, this thing also, they have a trainer. So these normally go for like 250 plus, and the trainer goes for that amount. I mean, oh, I wasn't willing to pay that for the knife. I most certainly was not going to be willing to pay that for the trainer. That's crazy to me. But I mean, you know, the market sets the price, right? It's like what's somebody willing to pay for it. I mean, I think that kind of spells it out. I'm tempted to polish here slightly, but I think I'll leave it be. I'm not going to do that. Well, let's see if I can build up from the backside like I had it. This is actually that scale, so not that one. This one. Like so. All right. I'm going to put this on. And let's get a body screw in it, a scale screw. It's one of these. Okay. And then I can put this on. And let's get 2 screws in there to help hold that down. Okay. Now, I think I can put the lock in. I wonder if I had to put that in before I put that on. I think I did. All right. Well, let's backtrack slightly. There, we got it. This button here is a source of conversation, but it can be upgraded pretty easily to a titanium piece. It's not uncommon. To encounter folks that have broken that piece. And this doesn't seem quite right to me, so I'm gonna loosen things up, move them around, see if I can't get this lined up and functioning correctly. There it is. There you go. Just had it in there a little too deep. We all good now. Yeah, so I mean I may look into finding this piece titanium. Okay. So I think I can build up on it now. I'm gonna try for show. I think if I put that pivot in, like so, that I can build up on this now. So I'm gonna put a little lube on there. And a washer. And a little lube on the washer. And then we're gonna get our blade on. Well, let's push that out a little bit so I don't have such a tall pivot to fight over. And then once I get that blade on, then I'll come up with it. Yeah, so I lowered that in there so that it's easier for me to get over the top of it. There we go. Got you, sucker. Okay. Well, let's put a little dab will do ya. Another washer. And another dab. Not that kind of dab. Let's get our other pivot. All right. Piece of pie, man. What's up? I better stop acting cocky because this thing's going to step up and bite me, right? Don't be cocky. Keep your head down. Stay humble. Don't give it any reason to revolt. Little screws. I think I can set them all in there. And then tighten them up. How about that? I think I'm going to have to get another T6 and put that on hold down. I think I can just do it with my hand, like so. Let's try. Yeah. A little wiggle, so we can get rid of the wiggle. Don't want no stinking wiggle. Still got some wiggle in there. We gotta get rid of this wiggle. Oh yeah, that was pretty loose. How about now? There we go. Ooh, a little stiff. Well, one of the things I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put just the tiniest little drop of oil where that ball runs. Yeah, man, it's running. It's not going to be as freewheeling as it was before, but that's okay with me. That's okay. I think I do want to put a little tension down on this pocket clip, which is going to be like that. I think I got it. Let's see. Yeah, I think we want to be on this side, don't we? Got to back that screw out of there. I don't think it gave any. Might have to, yep, got to bring in some help. Oh, a little more. There we got you. Yeah, got it good. Well, the action's not quite as freewheeling, but there's no rock in there now. And then if I had to pick on this knife, that's what I'd want. I don't want no rock. I can fling it out there, thumb flick it, and Spidey flick it just fine. Wonderful. And the blade, rock solid. Not a wiggle, nothing. Yeah. I can even throw it out with the buttons now. It's working its way in. Wonderful. it is possible that I'll have to Loctite these. It's not uncommon for these to come loose. We'll see. I'll have to monitor whether there's blade play or not. Well, let's talk about this action. You know, the main thriller on this piece, of course, is going to be the ergonomics, right? But let's talk about the action. So in pocket, Spidey flick, thumb flick. You know, I would probably say the same thing about my Mannix. That all in all, it's, you know, B plus, A minus. I mean, I'm okay with giving it A level action. It runs well, and these buttons work really good. Like there, I just use my thumb to take that down. But here again, I've said this before, on a defensive knife like this, I'm not so worried about being able to drop shut close that knife. My concern is going to be getting it out of pocket and deploying the blade. That's ultimately where my concern is. Putting it away, I can take my time. I could do this, and if I had to close it like that, I'd be perfectly okay with that. I'm not in a big hurry to close this. This ain't a work knife. I'm not going to take this to a construction job site and be cutting the straps off of, you know, bundles of shingles, or, you know what I mean? This blade's not going to see that kind of work. This is solely a, you know, if somebody says, hey, let me use your knife, I'm not handing this knife. I've got another little knife in my pocket that I go, you know, they go, hey, let me see your knife. That knife goes to them. Maybe this knife would go to them. This one's awful nice, so I'm not sure if I'd hand that off. But I think you get my drift. I have pocket knives that I would, you know, work knives that I would give somebody and say, here, and let them drop it and chip the blade, or, you know, run the edge across a bundle of shingles or whatever. That's not this piece. So to have the action where it's at right now, I'm going to upgrade it and say it's an A minus. And the reason is because that works just fine, and so does so does that. If I can get it, for some reason I'm sticking it every time. Of course, I think I'm grabbing this button. The ergonomics. Let's talk about that, and then we're going to talk about this, because honestly, that's the deployment method. It's not even what I'm doing. This knife, once out of pocket, it's already going to be open. So ergonomics, I mean, from a Pikal grip standpoint, this jimping here that you saw on the scales is super aggressive, digs into the palm right there. This cutout for that finger, I mean, there's not so confident, and very confident. This grip right here, up close, and, you know, past confident, all the way up to very confident. This is wonderful in hand. I mean, I have a lot of Pikals. I just did a kubey Pikal, a budget kubey Pikal. I think maybe my favorite Pikal is the Dirk Pinkerton. What's that? Come on, man. I know what it is. The inversion, the Kizer. Now, he's got his own version, and I'll be honest, I like it a lot as well. Titanium scales, good steel. I like it a lot. This is really lightweight. I mean, man, this one may take my top Pikal defense knife spot. It really might. I really do like that inversion, though. The Kizer version is stunning, and Dirk's own version of that inversion is pretty solid as well. I believe Beyond EDC OEMs that one. I'm not sure. Anyways, yeah, wonderful ergonomics. And if you did want to use this, you can absolutely grip this and use this knife to slice whatever. Let's check that pocket clip. You saw I did put some tension on it. It felt a little weak to me. And of course now on the thick stuff, it's a dryer clip. We do have about a half an inch sticking out of the pocket, but the tension on this clip now is, it's a F5 clip. Where I put this knife, running, tumbling, whatever, if I reach back for this knife, it's going to be where I left it when I go looking for it. Yeah, works wonderfully. You can hear it grip on the way out. Now, these shorts aren't necessarily optimum for this, but the way that this functions is it would go in this pocket here, and I may have to turn the camera around to illustrate it. We'll see. And so it would go in the front pocket towards the front of the pocket, and when you needed the knife, you would pull out on it, and it would hook and open. And when it opened like that, you're right here, whoops, ready to go. Now, something tells me I've got the clip on the wrong side. Now that I'm doing this, I think I do. Because when that comes out of pocket, here, I'm going to do it in my pants. Okay, no, it's correct. But where I would carry it is down here towards the outside. I'm just confused working off of this bench. So it would be in my right front pocket. Come on, man. Got this triple stitch here. Let's go here. It would be in my right front pocket. And when I come out of that pocket, here, I want to be able to illustrate it. This knife would open, and it's in my hand, just like, well, actually, no, it would be like this. Let me see if I can do this correct. I know the video's long. I don't even care. I'm digging my knife. So it would be like this. So what would happen is I would reach down into my front pocket like so, extract the knife, which by doing would open this blade, and I'm already in my grip right there. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, so pocket clip's awesome. Works wonderfully. What about safety? Has this thing got any blade exposure going on? Nah, that tip's recessed. Clip's good. The Emerson type flippy thing works awesome. You could take that off too if you wanted to just put it in your pocket and then deploy the knife. I tend to like it. I would say you might want to practice a little bit with it, so that you come out correctly, the knife engages and opens, and then you're immediately into your grip. Wouldn't hurt to run through it a time or two. I wonder if that S30 is sharp. And I'm a fan of S30V. It's decent steel. Now, all I'm going to say is if you're familiar with Spyderco knives, yeah, brother, it's that kind of Spyderco sharp. They have a magical, mystical way of taking their blade stock, and when you get these knives, phew, razor blades. Yeah, and this one's no exception. I can hit price and availability without bumping off the video. I mean, we'll wrap up. So I have no idea the availability. You know what? I'm going to do a quick search. Yeah, apologies. I can't find one. And the last couple that I see, I have had this one for several months. It's been hanging around here for a long time. And I'm digging through. I'm actually trying to square away to do some top 10s and different videos for first of year. It's after the first of the year, but I'm working on getting my two sons sorted and digging through a bunch of inventory. And in the process, I saw this in a box, and I thought, man, I'm going to get that out of here so I can do a review on it, but also so I can put it in my pocket, so I can use the thing. Yeah. So price, availability, man, you're just going to have to you're going to have to go on the hunt. You're going to have to become a seeker for one of these. But 285, 3.25, 500. I did pay considerably less than 200 for mine. Now, it didn't have a box, didn't have paperwork, and so I don't know. Maybe the reason that I got it like that was because too many people felt like without that it could be a knockoff or whatever. But as far as I know, there's not any of these being produced as knockoffs. So I didn't really worry about it. I took a low shot at it and landed it. So, anyways, the Spyderco Pikal with the ball lock on it, pretty cool. And I tell you what, I did see a couple of the trainers for sale. They're red and have a training blade plus 250, over 250 for the trainer. So yeah, hey, I appreciate y'all hanging out. Almost 40 minutes of video. Appreciate y'all.